Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Aries Only, where I channel messages for Aries only. Today we're looking into a no contact love situation. We're going to just see basically what is going on. Just do a little sage here, especially if you're going on a little reading bender. It's always good to take a second to breathe in between, reset that energy. Okay, so let's first get one of these archetype cards. I kind of feel like a little bit of a heavier energy. Let's see what comes out between you and your person right now. What is the energy between Aries and their person in this no contact situation? Sorry, this just fell out almost to the floor. Oh God, this sage is like saging hardcore. Oh, what's going on here? Sorry. Oh, that's weird. There's, okay. What's the energy right now between Aries and their no contact person? The dead end. Okay. Okay, with the vow on the bottom of the deck. Yes. All right, so I feel like right now, guys, it's a very frustrating feeling between you and your person right now. It's almost like you feel like you've made this vow to like be there for them, like no matter what happens, but at the same time it's like you can't, they're not allowing you to be, or the situation's not allowing you to be for whatever reason. There's something in the way, there's some big blockage. It's almost like you've been like traveling this path, is how I'm seeing it, like as if you're like traveling in the woods down a path. Like you've been traveling this path, and it's like you've gotten as far as you can. You've reached this like thick, branchy dead end here, like this, the brambles. It's just, you can't break through. And it's like, that's like your hand, it's like your person. It's like in order to keep continuing on the path, like you would have to break through this resistance, which may or may not be coming from your actual person. But regardless, it's like you feel like you've reached a dead end, but at the same time, like you can't give up your vow. So it's a very frustrating and upsetting experience here for you guys, I would imagine. And it's almost like, especially if like you have dreams about this person or even visions, because I saw the vision card when I was shuffling, or you just have some sort of knowing about the situation and the connection that you share. It's like almost like in the 5D you feel like such a connection where you can like almost feel them, and it's so real, it almost feels very tangible, even if you're not actually like 3D seeing them. But like in the real world, that's not like manifesting in the 3D. Like it's, this hand is alone here where there's like hands gripping each other and you can feel the connection powerfully. Here in the 3D, it's only met with resistance, like you can't break through. Okay, so that's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting right off the bat. Let me just grab some dice. And while the sage is like really still going, I feel like we are in a new moon in Scorpio. We had it last night, or actually this morning, I think at 4 in the morning. Or was it yesterday at 4 in the morning? Anyway, it's the energy is still present here, a new moon in Scorpio, which is a new start, but also Scorpios are about endings and beginnings. So I'm not surprised that we have an ending card being signified here. And the sage burning like crazy right now is making me think that this could be like a major clear out for you guys, like a major purge of energy here, like maybe the frustration, maybe a major purge of anger, because I do associate Mars energy with Scorpio. It's one of the rulers of Mars along with Pluto. So it's like there could be a lot of like anger coming to the surface to be released. Okay, so what is going on right now between Aries and their person? Sun in something. Just kidding. Sun in Capricorn in the 11th house. All right, so a sun in Capricorn. Oh, that just switched to Libra, but okay. I don't know if that was Okay, anyway, let's just go back to, like, it landed on Capricorn and then it went to Libra. But let's just, like, deal with the Capricorn first. Sun and Capricorn people are very serious. They take their okay, yeah, this vow. They would take this vow very seriously. And even we have the 11th house, so maybe your friends, and it's funny because I shuffled a song for you, I forgot about this, and it was Jesse's Girl, which is a song about, like, your friend's girlfriend, kind of. So it's like, that's making me think that maybe there's a community, a friend group, something where it's like you have a bond with this person that's not just romantic. There's freaking Capricorn, oh my god. You have a bond with this person that's maybe not just romantic, and like the vow you've taken is like very serious. Like the vow you've undertaken to this person and like just within yourself is, you're taking it very seriously, even if it's just to always be a friend to this person. But it's almost like you feel like, because the fact that we have the 11th house and not like the 7th house, even though we did have that Libra energy coming through when this flipped, but the fact that we have that 11th house energy is making me think that, like, even if this person wasn't going to be with you romantically, you would always be there for them as a friend. Even if they were with somebody else, like the song Jesse's Girl kind of denotes, where it's like, it's painful for you to see them with somebody else, but you'll still like stay the course because you care about them as a friend. But it seems like even the friendship is like up for question right now. And there's a lot about what's out in the open here with the sun that's making me think what's happening like in the 3D is what's like on your mind right now, not necessarily what's happening in the 5D. And I feel like something is happening here that's making you feel like almost like you have no choice but to break your vow, or just realize that you can't really, especially with the Libra energy coming through, there's like an energy of not being able to make a decision, not necessarily being indecisive, but not understanding like how you're supposed to make a decision in this very frustrating dead-end situation, because you take your vows very seriously, and it's like there's no way you could break that, but there's also no way you could break through to this person. So you're kind of just stuck in this limbo, this space of just feeling trapped and frustrated, like a caged animal unable to get out. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see what else we can get, guys. And this is also your person's energy as well. Somehow there's like the connection between both of you. So why are these upside down? Sorry, let me just look at these quick. So there is frustration on their end too in something, but let's see what we can get. So what is your energy? Why are these upside down? What is your energy, Aries? Full moon in Capricorn again. The end of a tough cycle approaches, and you and your loved ones are safe. And for your person, your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon, and conclusions are within reach on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like, and in reverse, so it's almost like it's like almost like a tough cycle, the end of a tough cycle is approaching, but it's like we can't let it end. Almost like this cycle has to end before a new cycle can begin, or something like that. But it's like, I feel like you're having a tough time ending, and your person's having a tough time beginning. I'm getting a sense like they're hiding from what they should be doing, and you're almost like, I don't know, I feel like you have a very set, rigid idea of how the situation should unfold with your person, and if it doesn't go that exact way, it's like you feel you just get swept up in the emotion of it, or in the frustration of it, or whatever it is, and it's like this cycle is just continuing. It's almost like you think this cycle is ending, but you just keep like jumping into like a repetition of it. It's almost like, okay, this is the end. It could be a cycle where like your person, say your person calls you and they're like, hey, like, you want to hang out? And you're like, oh my God, it's happening. Like, we're going to finally, like, whatever. Like, they finally realize, like, how good we are together. And you make your plans, but then they just don't call you or don't show up or something like that. and then you're back to feeling like despair. And it's like, then it kind of like you go a couple weeks or however long it is, there's like some sort of cycle happening over and over again. I feel like that you're just stuck in here, and then like the same thing, they kind of pop back in again. And or maybe even you reach out to them like, oh hey, like how have you been, like after enough time has passed, and they're kind of like giving you a little bit, but they can't commit. They have an issue with commitment here, clearly. Whereas like you take things very seriously, like with this vow energy and this Capricorn energy coming out on your end, I feel like that's very much your energy. Your person has a tough time beginning, you have a tough time letting go. It's leading to you guys being stuck in this stagnant cycle. And this is reminding me of this guy that I used to have so many feelings for, but like we were friends. It was like, we were in a friend group, kind of work group or whatever it was, but I remember I like had feelings for him, and I was like, I'm just gonna shoot my shot or whatever, because like I can tell that he's such a good person and cares about me as a friend. So like even if he wasn't interested, I know he would just like let me down easy and just like be like, okay, sorry, like, you know, whatever, like it's just, I'm not, you know, I don't know if he would say I'm not into you. I just thought he would like let me down in a respectful manner, and then we would just be friends or like be best friends, and like that would just be it. But that's kind of not what happened. It was like a little bit of like game playing and a little bit of like a side of his personality that I didn't understand or even realize was there or expect. So, and you know, that was my own assumption. Like it's not like that's on him, but I feel like there could be something like that where you have this image of your person that's not maybe realistic, because that story just like popped in my head. I haven't thought of it. This was like 4 years ago or something, 3 years ago. So, I mean, that story just like randomly popped in my head. So maybe there's something there where you sort of have this idealized version of this person, especially if they are in your friend group here, where you have a connection with them beyond just this romantic connection. So you have this like view of them in your mind, and their actions aren't like matching up with it, and it's very confusing for you, because like I was saying with this vow, it's like you feel so sure about it, but then it's like not adding up, and it's just causing a lot of chaos and confusion for you internally. All right, so let's see what else we can get. What's going on with you guys, Aries? Going on with Aries right now? Girl talk and the snake, but let's just get one. What is one card to say what's going on with Aries right now in this connection? Hand of Cards. Take a chance, risk being strategic options, not showing hand, and gambling. And oh, for your person, oh, we have the Chaser. Chaser in a codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issue, and then we have girl talk on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like maybe your person is like afraid of looking weak or something, I'm getting. Let me just clarify that. Hold on. Passion, insane chemistry, like each other equally, having fun. I feel like they could be chasing something. First of all, they could be chasing something that's not love, is sort of like a vibe that I'm getting. I'm getting that they do have abandonment issues here, fear of abandonment issue. So maybe like that's something that happened. Maybe they kind of like gave their all in another relationship, and it sort of made them feel like in this weak energy here. I'm gonna get one more card for each of you. So for Aries, what's your other card in this connection right now? But the fact that it's like a chaser, okay, if it was like a chaser and it was facing that way, I would say that like your person's like chasing you, but it's like chasing and it's like running that way. So it's like making me think it's like either chasing something else or just like running away. Okay, we have wedding rings, but let me just concentrate when I do that. But again, that would make sense with that vow energy. But hold on one second, let me just see. What is Aries energy towards their person right now? Too many. What is Aries energy towards their person right now? And we have mask. So not showing true feelings, hide personality, pretend, delude, gaslighting. I feel like you're not really letting your person know that this is like really bothering you as much as it is. I feel like you are almost acting like you're above it all and you're like kind of cool or something, like, oh no, like I don't care, like, hold on. And then now for right here, but even with the girl talk, it's making me think that you're like trying to like pretend like, what if this was just my friend, like how would I be acting, and almost like letting some behavior slide that like you wouldn't normally let slide in a relationship, because and you think that that's like the right thing that you should be doing. You think it's okay for you to like stuff your feelings down in order to sort of like play it cool. I'm getting a vibe like that. And then for your person's energy, clarify. Oh, it's too many. Oh, hold on. What is Aries person's energy towards them in this connection right now? Ooh, it's like you've definitely expressed interest to your person here, but it's like you're not letting them know that like it bothers you and things like that. We have the Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, and changed mind. So it's almost like they're like, it's like showing this cycle with them too, where the new phase, rekindle, renew, it's like their commitment is being tested where they're like hiding, but then it's like they almost get this burst of energy where maybe they want to like chase after you, especially if you've like gone quiet for a while and it's just like a cycle, like they're perpetuating the cycle. I'm mostly getting that they're the ones with the chaser and the Phoenix, those are like actions. It's making me think that they're the ones that keep perpetuating the cycle in a way. They're the ones that like kind of come back in and start chasing you, and then it's like almost like, but like I was saying, you think like, oh, it's time, like we're finally like, this is it, we're gonna like be together, so you like let your guards down, almost like this strategy sort of drops, this mask comes off, and you're kind of just like, okay, hey, what's up, like if this was my friend, what would I do? Of course I would go hang out with them or something like that. And then like they just maybe like dip out, and it like kind of starts all over again. Like they can't get past the first quarter. Like, you know, it's like all this promise, they're chasing after you, but then it's whether it's their fear or whatever is the case that's like holding them back, like gets the best of them. So let's see what else we can get. I have these astrology cards. What's going on with Aries? That's too many. What's going on with Aries right now in this connection? We have fifth house, joy and play. Again, I'm getting like the energy of like friendship sort of. And then we have Pluto, shadow and mysticism. It's like, I feel like the mask that you're wearing to your person is like, this doesn't bother me. But inside there's like this shadow and this whole spiritual, like almost like you feel like they have this spiritual connection, or even if you're not categorizing it that way, you're like, I feel this strong love connection with this person. Fifth house is about love and romance and things like that. So it's almost like you try to project that image of like, yeah, like I'm cool. Like, not that you're trying to be cool, but like you're trying to be chill. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm chill. Like, oh, I'm just here to have a good time. Like whenever you want, like hit me up. Yeah. Like, you know, almost like that. But meanwhile, like with this Pluto energy, this frustration that I'm picking up on from you, it is hurting you a lot more than you're letting on. There's a lot about you not showing your cards, but feeling like it's worth the risk and the chance and the pain. You're being strategic, like you're thinking this through. Even the mask is like a Seven of Swords energy, and this looks like the Ace of Swords. This is you trying to be smart in this situation, and you feel that by doing that, you have to, in order to be smart, like smart means not being like super emotional about this, even though you actually are. And this person's in and out behavior with the Phoenix, because the Phoenix, you got to think about it, the Phoenix, like I'm thinking about Dumbledore's bird, isn't that a Phoenix? It grows old, it dies, and then it like bursts into flames, and then the ashes, the little like bird head pokes out, and then it grows up again, and the whole cycle like repeats, it never ends. This person's definitely perpetuating that, and you're perpetuating it too, but in a different way. Like they're actually the one like picking up the phone to be like, hey, have you been maybe? And you're almost like feeling like this on the inside, but looking like that happy face on the outside. And how about for your person? We have conjunction, fusion, and energy. Yeah, they're the ones, and then look, Mars, drive and power. They're the ones driving the ship. fusion and energy, trying to connect your energies here. Like, I really feel like that this is, and they are desiring to connect with you, like, for sure. Like, that's like what I'm getting here. Like, they are the ones doing this, but for whatever reason, they can't follow through with it. North node of the moon, new life goal. Maybe they have like other goals that they want to, they need healing here, Chiron. But it's like maybe they're chasing money, or they're chasing other things that make them feel, I don't know, like, what are they chasing? 8th house, transformation and mystery. And Pisces, the dreamer. I feel like there's somebody that likes to dream about things, but doesn't like to actually like move they like feel more comfortable when it's in a dream. Because even Jesse's Girl, when you think about that song, it's like, I wish that I had Jesse's Girl. Maybe you dated somebody in their friend group, or maybe they dated somebody in your friend group, and like then they broke up, or you broke up with whoever it was, someone broke up, and then all of a sudden you're both single, and then all of a sudden they're running from the relationship that they've like wanted this whole time. I'm dreaming about this relationship, I'm wanting this relationship, but now that I can actually have it, I'm running from this relationship. It's just like, you know, it's kind of like that kind of a vibe, where it's like you think you want it, but then when you could actually have it, it's like you do something to kind of ruin it, or you can't follow through with it. It's like almost like better as a fantasy or something like that. Yeah, I just saw the 7 of Cups. All right, so what's going on in this connection? What's going to happen next, should we ask? Let's see. For each of you, we'll see how it comes out. What's the next? What's going to happen next in this connection? We have the 4 of Cups. Oh. What's going to happen next in this connection? Do we want all these? Let me just see. This one's first. Okay, yeah. All right. So we have a lot of Pisces energy with the Hanged Man and the High Priestess. Although the High Priestess could be like Virgo energy, I've heard people say. But anyway, the overall energy here is Temperance. Moderation, healing vibes, things like that. Almost like with Temperance, and I'm thinking about the Magician on steroids kind of analogy that people use, where you're trying to like alchemize this pain into something beautiful. But at the same time, it's almost like we're getting to the point here where like, I feel like what's coming up next is another cycle. Like it's another, this cycle is going to restart almost, where like your person's going to like reach out to you, and you're almost going to just be just kind of like, I don't know, I feel like you're almost going to be catching on to this in a way, where you're just thinking about all the times that this has already happened with these 3 cups, and they're like, hey, you want to, like, they're offering like a cup of friendship even, say, and you're just like, I know where this is going. Even with the High Priestess, it's like you want to believe it, but you just can't anymore. You're just kind of like, yeah, okay. You're kind of like, you're not having the same enthusiasm when you make these plans with this person anymore, because it's like you kind of know that it's going to fall through, and you sort of hope it'll be different, and you're trying to like focus on your inner knowing about this connection and trust your faith in this connection. But I feel that it is going to end in the same way, with you feeling very burdened and very frustrated. The 10 of Wands a lot of times is that frustrated feeling, and almost like I'm getting a sense of loneliness, no one understands me kind of a thing. And again, it's like your person, there's 2 people on this card. Like you have very only singular figures on your side, and this is like your person's side. So it's like you're on their side. Like I feel like you're a lot more on, not even on their mind, but I don't know, it's almost like, even with this conjunction energy, it's like almost like they're the ones running the most, but they're also the ones like pushing this forward the most. And you're kind of just like, I'm trying to think of an example, like a foosball. you know, when you're like kicking, it's like you're the ball that's being kicked around. Like you're like, you don't know where you're gonna go. You're not really like initiating the action, but you're just being like moved by their actions, kind of like. Does that make sense? Like you're just kind of like a product of their own actions. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like you're going through the motions, but you're not really like initiating anything yourself. With this high priestess, it is a more passive energy. The devil is Saturn, Capricorn energy coming through again, but the shadow side of Capricorn, where it's like they're using their power for like destructive means here. Like they're caught in this toxic cycle again. That's like they feel very chained, like they can't break free from you. I don't feel like they want to. I feel like almost like they can't break free of this toxic cycle that they're in with you for whatever reason. There's like this big looming problem that they're not looking at. They're looking at you, but they're not realizing what this big issue that's like right behind them. And I feel like whenever this happens and this cycle happens with you, they spend a lot of time thinking about you and feeling sad, like, why do I do this, almost, and like they have to like wait for enough time to pass before they can maybe even like pick up the phone or whatever the case. They spend a lot of time dreaming about you, thinking about you, almost like trying to look at this, like maybe I'll do it differently this time with the Hanged Man, but they're only dreaming about it. It's like when it comes to their actions, it's like they take this route of the devil. And yeah, it's like they stay in this, these are two very stagnant energies. Even this, they're chained. It's like they can't move past like this. They're very stuck. And in doing so, it's keeping you stuck, because I feel like you're in a very similar energy too, where it's like you can't break it, like you can't end it and they can't begin it. Like I was saying, you're not like setting down this 10 of Wands. You're carrying it. You're continuing to carry it with you. Like you won't set it down. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, but it's almost like you don't realize, because remember how I was saying it's like you're in the forest and there's like this bunch of brambles and like you can't break through them. But it's like almost reminding me of that. It's like you can put it down and stop this cycle in a way. That's like the vibe that I'm getting. Like you can, you just can't. Like, you know what I mean? Like you won't. So, or you don't see it that way. You're not realizing that like you're looking through this forest, but you're like holding it in your hands. Like you're kind of, if you would just maybe like take a different approach, for instance, by saying no to this person and letting them mourn the loss of you, like this cycle would end and a new cycle would begin. I don't know what it would be, but even with this Four of Cups, this could be somebody else coming in to offer you a cup and you being like, no. This could denote that there's lots of other suitors like approaching you, and you are staying loyal to your trust and your faith in this connection, and, you know, continuing to carry this burden because you feel like you have to do that. You made a vow, you know, that whole thing. Even on this Arrows card underneath the vow, that there's like a diamond. So that's making me think of, you know, obviously a commitment and engagement ring. Like even without the ring though, you have committed to this person. And it's like there's like a sense of purity with the High Priestess, like you're keeping yourself pure for this person. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like if you could set down this, and even if it doesn't mean you have to date somebody else, but even if you just told this person no next time they kind of came around, like, no thanks, I'm busy, but like they would probably, it would change the cycle in some way. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how, but I feel like if you do really want to change it, I feel like it's just the way to do it is to do something different. Like you're having a tough time ending this, trying to find a way to like let this go, even if it does feel like agony. I mean, at least it's better than continuing in the same repetitive cycle, or at least it's different and you could just, you know, have a new experience. Because I feel like you're kind of starting to get really bored with it, and but you're just going through the motions, like I said, at this point. And it's like almost like if you looked up and realized you hold more power than you think to set this down and move forward in your life. And I feel like your energies are so connected here, like with this devil energy, that if you did that, it would also motivate this person to move forward in their life somehow, and you guys could break out of the cycle. Whether that means you'll be together, I don't know, but you could at least have some forward movement somehow, because right now there is no movement in this connection. All right, so let's get some final advice for you guys, and then we will close out the reading. What is needed in this connection in order for them to move on? How can we break the chain of stagnation here? the advice for the viewer. Back to what you love, reevaluate your desires. And I feel like if you, like, okay, like when that card came out, maybe you were like, oh, like I love this person, but I think it's saying like reevaluate your desires. And it doesn't mean like, even if you like set this down and walk backwards the other way, you can still like have love for this person. But I almost feel like there's this whole other world of other things that you could love, not even romantic relationships, but even like your friendships and things like that, your work. We have a lot of Capricorn energy coming through. What just fell? Ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. To me, that speaks of like therapy, talking to friends and family, like especially if that looks almost like she's asking like a father figure for advice or something like that, like an older, wiser person. If there is a what was I just gonna say? Oh, I just lost it. I'm sorry. Maybe it'll come to me. Physical touch. A tender touch can mean so much. And I think that like living without that in your life, like again, maybe like I said, there's a sense of purity within you where you've maybe sworn off other people. And I feel like, but this person isn't like giving you what you need in that respect because they're not necessarily around for you. So I don't know, maybe that's what it's saying, like reevaluate your desires. Like what do you want in a relationship itself instead of like who do you want? Like, and maybe physical touch is like your love language or something that's very important to you and you could feel like starved for affection. Because I'm just noticing with the hands, it's almost like you want to touch something. And with the vow, I feel like maybe like you're both dreaming almost about like daydreaming about like being close together. Even if it's not sexual, it's maybe just like hugging and like laying together. I'm getting that like that's something that, you know, you're both craving here. Hold on, let's see what else. What's advice moving forward? Love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So there is that message of like trusting yourself, but at the same time, like I was saying, like being stuck in a cycle, love can endure even under different, oh, sorry. Whoa, all right. It says love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So like you don't just have to be stuck in this situation is how I'm taking that. Like I'm seeing this boat, I'm seeing movement, I'm seeing like exploring other aspects of your life besides just this connection. If you've been sort of hiding yourself away, like getting back out there on the social scene doesn't mean like dating or anything like that, doesn't have to mean, but we have the 11th house, like friendships and work I'm getting with what came out for you guys. Slow down, pause, and allow things to unfold. Listen with your heart and receive with love and appreciation. So let me just get one more. I feel like if your best friend was telling you about this situation and explaining what keeps happening, like what advice would you give them? And I feel like, look at this high priestess poking out. I just like noticed that. It's like, I feel like you know that like the answer is to break this cycle somehow and that you can't really figure it out. And maybe that's where this ask for help thing is coming in. And especially if there are other offers, maybe take a look at that book, Why Men Love Bitches. Like it's almost like you feel like you have to be loyal to this person and always available for them to love you, to like show them, especially if they have some issues. But I feel like the opposite is true, and almost like you exploring things for your own self might open the door for this person like to come out of hiding or something like that. And look, this person's peeking out too, looking over there. It's almost like throughout all this like confusion, it's like this connection is just like hiding. Just the way that this looks, it's almost like it's like peeking through the shadows or something like that. It's like never goes away. What's this last thing? Love who you are. You are divine, delightful, and deserving of the wonderful things life has to offer, and you are limitless. Like I feel like you're keeping yourself down by tying yourself and chaining yourself to this connection the way that it currently is. Doesn't mean you can't have love and faith and hope for this connection in the future, but if it's just not happening right now, accepting that and moving on with your life, like might be the way to like sort of come together in the future. And especially if, like I said this in one of my other readings, like if your spirit guides could come down and be like, hey, like by the way, like you're gonna end up with this person hypothetically, but you have to have these two relationships first in order to learn this, for forgiveness from one and setting boundaries in another, whatever it would be. I don't know, I just made that up. And so it's like you like have to go through these other 2 relationships before you can like align with your person. Your person has to go through one with this person so they can learn blah, blah, whatever. And it's like, if you knew that and you could have that vision, like with the High Priestess, I'm thinking of that. Like, I feel like without hesitation, if you could see like a map and have a guarantee, like I would end up with this person, you would like jump into it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? But it's almost like you can't, because it's like you feel like there are no guarantees and you're so afraid of losing this person. So you have to face that fear and just like look for the joy and the play in your life here. And if this person isn't bringing that to you right now, you need to search for it elsewhere. Okay. All right, guys, I think we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, or subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you in the next one.